About 4 months ago, I injected myself into the process more intimately than what I probably should have. But I wanted to make sure that the city was negotiating as hard as they could and extracting as much as they could. I knew that we had a deadline of June 30th. And sitting here today, listening to what you've said, I know what you feel. I felt the same way. But I realized that the dream has become somewhat of a nightmare. And the reality is that the values that we wanted for the powerhouse district of small neighborhood feeling, the elements of the pad, I believe, are embedded in this settlement. It is very difficult in the process of negotiation when the city and the Corporation Council and the attorneys for the opposition are in a gag order and you can't share too much. I believe I was genuine enough to step outside and let you know early enough what the elements were. And I did that at a certain risk of not knowing where the council people were, because we got briefed that same week. I looked at the reality of what we were able to do, and I felt as angry as you did when that chimney came down, and when in defiance of taking down the parapet and making 110 vulnerable to the elements, I was mad as hell, and I wasn't going to take it anymore. And I still feel right, my right. But the reality of what I found was that 16,000 square feet of a gallery and a cabaret and a certain number of artist units being discounted, well, I'm not sure that is enough discount at the end of the day, but that's what we were able to negotiate. The issue of a world-class architect appealed to me, because you can have a signature building that's good for them, it's good for us, and I think at the end of the day, it'll be good for Jersey City that once you get in that zone, you actually feel the zone. We're able to achieve the facade restoration, and essentially historic restoration is that, the facade improvements, and if you want to be true to it, it's the internals as well, but what the federal government looks to do is the facade, and they keep that, and I believe we're able to achieve that with both 110 and 111. I believe that the design element that they have in there of having a gallery that faces a sculptured garden next to a light rail is a good design element. I found that we raised the bar like we've never raised the bar before. We've asked developers in the past to make a contribution of $1,500 for affordable housing. If they fail to build those that are outside of their inclusionary zoning, they'll have to come up with $150,000. That's the highest bar we've ever had, and I believe it sets a precedent for how we're going to negotiate with other developers in the future. I think that this settlement is exactly what we're saying, a settlement. And it has the objectives in mind. It creates the affordable housing, and in fact, it creates more artist live and work opportunities than we had before. At the best case scenario, anywhere in the past, we had anywhere from 75 to 90 artists live and work there. Now we're going to have a significantly higher number. So I feel that we were reasonable in getting the best we could. I wish that I could have gotten more. But the reality was that this is as far as we could go. Maybe someone else might have done something differently. I'm not sure. All I know is that I had a sense of a deadline on this, and we put in a lot of time to understand the settlement and make sure that the details of how we negotiated this were in the benefit of Jersey City. I vote aye.
Boo. Oh, yeah.
Welcome to